Okay, so we've completed step 1, which is ClickFunnels. We've completed step 2, which is all about Calendly. And we're now going to move on to step 3, which is all about ActiveCampaign. Now, ActiveCampaign is, you need this so it can hold your leads and send them emails. Any kind of follow-up emails. We've got a sequence for them to get 9 automated emails. So that's why you need ActiveCampaign. So what we're going to do is we now need to make sure we can set up ActiveCampaign now. So if I'm just going to head over, I'm going to set up a new account now. Okay, I'm going to go into pricing. And I'm just making sure we can find the right one because they've been a bit sneaky and hidden the slightly cheaper package. So I'm just going to navigate to the correct one. I think you could click on, so go pricing and compare all features. I think that gets us, yeah, that gets us to where we want. So just to confirm, you are in ActiveCampaign. Let me go back there actually. ActiveCampaign, pricing. And the one we want isn't actually shown on here. They've been a bit sneaky. So we're going to have to scroll down, and where it says compare all features, I'm going to click on that. Okay, we want to make sure we're in marketing, and then we want the light package, which is this one here. If I scroll down, hopefully it should show you the price, what the price is at the moment. No, it's not showing me the price. So if I just click get started, and here you go, here's the pricing at the moment. So make sure we're still on light here. We don't need to add anything else at the moment. And if you look over here, if you go pay for the year, it works out $29 per month. If you pay monthly, then it's $39 per month. And that starts with 1,000 contacts. So if you already have a business and you're going to move over the contacts to ActiveCampaign, then you might need to up the amount of contacts you can have in there. But for 95% of you, I think the light package at 1,000 contacts will be plenty. So once I've done that, then I'm going to go, so I want monthly, I'm going to click continue. Going to fill in all my details. So just fill in all of these. You can customize your .active hosted link. It's just the link you use basically to sign in. So again, it doesn't need to be too important. Just use COA, then go password. So just put in a password. Then I'll fill in my address. Going to fill in all of that, and then click complete purchase. Now I don't want to actually pay for this straight away, so I'm just going to go into our existing account and continue from there. But make sure you fill in all your details and then complete the purchase. Go back. You can have a free trial. Let's see how long the free trial is for. But again, you'd have to remember to change the what pricing plan you're on. Oh. So if I try for free, and then we follow the steps. So less than 500 contacts, just me, and then you select your kind of industry that you're in. I'm just going to go with online training and education. Then it might ask you what marketing automation provider, email service, blah, 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 are you currently using. So if you're already using one of these, then you'd select it. If you're not, then just click the next step. Create your password. Click take me to my account. Okay, so now we're in Active Campaign. I didn't get to cut the things when you create your trial. You don't get to customize this. You have to change that a different way, but it doesn't matter, so you wouldn't need to worry about it. But then it brings you to this screen. So I'm just going to see if I can show you how you would drop down from your free session. In fact, we haven't put billing details in. So what will happen at the end of your free trial is you'll get emails in order to make sure that you set up billing for it. Let's see if we can do it beforehand. Is it in there? Let's have a look. Account. No. Alright, let's go into this one then. Billing and upgrade. There we go. So again, what you'll have to do is you'd have to go into your plan, and then it doesn't show you the one that we want. So you'd have to click on see features for each plan tier. And then again, you can see it here, and you'll have to click get started that way and go through the billing process that way around. So basically you can start for free and set a lot of things up, but you'd still need to make sure that you go into upgrade in order to finish everything off. And I've just shown you obviously how you can either just start straight away, pay the monthly fee and just do it all straight in one go without having to come back, or how you get the free, start for free and then come in and choose your plan and make sure that you're selecting the Marketing Lite package. So it's Marketing Lite plan, and it should be $39 a month, being charged monthly for 1,000 contacts. Okay, so let's go back over to the account. What's our document say? So we've set it up. We've got the Marketing Lite account. I've shown you how to navigate to that because they hide that one a little bit. Now we're at 3.2, so automation. So now we need to start putting our automation in there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a list and name it this. So I'm just going to copy this. So I'm going to head over to my account, get rid of that one, and then I'm going to create a list. So I'm going to go contacts. Okay, just quickly, if you don't see that menu, so you just see this, you just need to click on the show navigation button, and then it will bring up all your options. So you want to go contacts, and then when you've got this menu bar come up, then click on lists. Okay, then I'm going to click add a new list or add a list, and I'm going to name it COA HVG. Then what we want to do is we want to head over to ClickFunnels and get the link to our opt-in page. So I'm just going to copy that. So I've gone into our HVG funnel. It's the first page, which is the opt-in page. I've copied this link here. Head back over here and paste it in the list URL. And then you just need to describe why they'll be on your list. So you requested 3 reasons. 3 reasons. Reasons why. And then click save. Okay, so we now have the COA list. Let's go back to our document. The next one is we need to create a tag COA HVG download. So I'm just going to copy that there. So head over. And then in the same thing, so you'll be contacts. You can see we're further down. You've got one that says tags. And then we're just going to paste in the tag there. Click add tags. And now you can see that's come over here. So we've done that. Head back over. So now what we need to do is we need to import the automation. Okay, so this link, what I'm going to do is actually remove it from this document and put it below the video, because sometimes this changes when we make minor tweaks or improvements. So basically don't worry if your link looks slightly different to this, it's not a problem. So I'm going to copy that link, head back over to Active Campaign, I'm going to scroll down on the blue menu bar until I see automations. Click there. Then I'm going to click create an automation and import an automation button. Then I'm going to paste the link I've just copied and click import. Okay, so now our automation is imported and we need to now start setting it up. So I'm just going to click on the get started. So here it says select any list. So the list we want to trigger all these emails is the COA list. So I'm going to come down here and click on the COA HVG, click next. Then we have all these emails and you need to select the name you want the emails coming from and the from email address. Okay, here you need an email address that is from a domain you own. You cannot use @gmail.com, @hotmail.com, or those at AOL.com. You cannot use those because they will not send, and even if they do, they will end up in spam folders. Okay, so you need to make sure that you've got an email with a domain you own. Now, if you don't, you should have brought a domain for your funnel so you can create an email on that domain. So whichever domain provider you used, ideally GoDaddy, like we've mentioned, you can then contact them and find out how much it'll cost to set up one email address, and they'll be able to set it up pretty much for you. They don't cost an awful lot to have an email address, so it's not, we're not talking lots of money at all. And get them set it up, but it is important, otherwise they won't be getting your emails. So it is really important that you have it as a domain you own. Okay, so I'm happy with the from name being this and that as my email address, but you might want to add something in like the transformation coach or whatever it might be. You can add that in if you wish. And then once you're happy, let me get rid of that. We're going to click next, and it will automatically move to the next email in the sequence and ask you the same thing. So again, you'll want to change it to what you've changed it to for the previous one. And then I'm just going to click next all the way down because I'm happy with all of those. Keep clicking next, next, next. And there we go. So now we have our automation. Okay. Then what we need to start doing is we need to change the email templates that are in the automation. So you should have gone through the training where you've written your emails. So now we need to just change them in here. So the first email, I just click on it, and then I'm just going to click the edit button. Okay, and this is where you obviously need to input all your relevant information and the emails that you've written. HVG name here, making sure you put in the problems 1, 2, 3. Make sure you've got your sign off, and then here, so we've got add a hyperlink. So here is where you have the name of your HVG, and then we copy it. So we just highlight it, sorry. Okay, and then I click on the link button. And I put the link here. Now this link will be like a Google Drive link or a Dropbox link, something like that, where they actually access your HVG. So this is the main place that they can then access what they've requested. And like I say, you want it on Google Drive or Dropbox, and you need to make sure that you've set the kind of share options so that they can just view it and potentially download it, but they can't edit the document, because otherwise you'll have lots of people editing and other people seeing that. So make sure you've got the relevant settings there. And then we've also got this link here. So we're going to say click here to book your free strategy session. So if I highlight that, go to the link, you can see we've got a Calendly link in here. So this link, you're going to go over to your Calendly that you've set up. You can see we've got our strategy session. And I'm going to click copy link, head back over to ActiveCampaign, going to delete the link that you can see in there, paste in the new one, and click OK. If you want to change the subject line, which you will on this one, a couple of them you will need to change, some you don't necessarily have to. You need to click on, the gear icon at top right corner, and then this is where you change the subject line. And you can also change the from that we've already set, but hopefully you've set these to what you want. Automatically it uses this email for the reply to unless you change it otherwise. And then we generally keep all of these on. Then what you need to do is, once you're happy that you've made all the changes you want, then you can actually send yourself a test. So you can say which email address you want it sent to. And the reason I do that is, one, to just double check the links work in the email. And also I find it easier to read the email when I've actually received it as an email, and notice any mistakes that I may have made. So that's why I tend to send a test. Then once you're happy, click next. Okay, and here you can see it's saying that the domain needs to be verified. So what this means is when you start sending an email, they want to make sure that you own this email address and you're not kind of some spammer using a random one. So I'm just going to click send email verification. And I will make sure that I go and click on the link that I receive. I don't need to send both, it will do it for both of them. And you can also see here it says please provide a physical mailing address. So basically by law, see it says required by law, you need to provide a physical address. So I'll show you how to do that shortly. I'll just finish off this email template. But you have to do it. So if you don't have a business address, then you can use your personal address, or there's lots of places online where you can rent an address for pretty cheap money, or a PO box or something like that. So that's up to you. That's your decision on what address you use. But you can click here, add new address, and you can just put it in here, or I'll show you another place that you can do it shortly. Then when you get to the options, you've got open read tracking. We want to make sure that we've got that on. We do want link tracking on, but often you will find that the link for your HVG doesn't work. So make sure you test it like a proper test, which we'll do right at the end of all these setup videos. And if it doesn't open, you'll need to come back into the email one and turn link tracking off. But for every other email, you can put, for every other email, you'd need to have it on, or you'd want to have it on. You can also customize. So here, customize. I've only got one link, so I could say actually I only want them to track if they click on the book a call page, rather than the download HVG. So I could have link tracking on, just not tracking the clicks to the download. Okay, so we've done that. And you can also send a test email from here as well. So if you've gone through all of this, you can also fill in this information, send a test. It won't let me because I haven't done these things yet. So until I've done that, it's not going to let me send one. So once we're happy with that, we're going to click save and exit. Okay, and you're then going to need to do the same for all the other emails. All of these emails, if I just click into this one, will just have your book a call link. So here you'll want to copy and paste in your Calendly link, but you won't be putting your HVG in. And the same things apply, that you change in their subject line. You can click on there, from and reply to you can change. Or if you click next, then you've got some more options down here. So if I just click save and exit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you where you can go to add your addresses. So you want to go settings in the bottom left hand corner, and you can click on addresses, and then you can add a new address that way as well. And you can just put it all in here. So actually, because I'm going to have to test this all at the end, I will put an address in. So let me just input that. And add the address. Okay, and then let me just go back to the automations. Actually, I'm going to go quickly verify the email address. So I'm just going to go to my emails. And I'm just going to copy the link that I've got in the email and paste it on over here so you can see. As you can see, it's now verified my domain, so it now says, yep, you own it. So I'm happy with that. That will go, that should, if I remove the domain. Yeah, there we go. So we got that verified and that's all good. Click advanced for me on that menu bar. It might be in that section actually, what I want. It's right near the top, advanced.
Oh yeah, here.
Just click the X in that box and get rid of that pop-up. Wonderful. Yeah. Authenticating a domain is required. Okay, so where you've got the blue button that says configure domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, just click on that for me. Right, so we now need to enter the domain that you're sending the emails from, so the levelupinfashion.com.
My mail, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just the company name. It's Caroline at
Whatever the domain is.
or just levelupinfashion.com.
Yeah, it's whatever that it has to be. So we're sending it, we put all those emails to go from Caroline at levelupinfashion.com, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need the levelupinfashion.com. So that's the one we need to do.
Okay.
Wonderful. And then just click continue. Click connect. Okay. I assume domain.com is your domain provider, so yeah, just log in there.
Yep. Wait a minute.
Okay, you can just click done and then just click off the pop-up that's come up as well.
Here?
Yeah, so if you want to save it.
Yeah, I'll save it.
And then just click done.
Great, good.
Get rid of that one now. Okay, let me just check I'm not missing, so change our templates. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to just quickly show you is in here. So this is the automation that you're getting. Now at this stage, excuse me, you don't have to, when someone books a call, so say someone is in these emails and they book a call with you, you don't necessarily want them receiving all these emails to say book a call, book a call, book a call. So you'll want to have them removed. Either you can go in manually and remove them, and there's a video in resources how to do that. Or you can set up so they automatically come out of here. So again, it's something that you don't have to do straight away. We're trying to give you the things that you have to do in order to get everything set up and leads coming through and be able to call them up and have conversations and all that sort of good stuff. But it is something you might want to look to do once you've got there. And again, there's a video and resources that shows you exactly how to have them automatically be removed from this sequence. Okay, there's also some people like to add to this sequence. What I would suggest is don't go any more than 2 months of emails, because otherwise things become a little bit outdated. So don't have any more than 2 months of automatic emails. Ideally, I would actually keep it more at a month, and then you would want to send an email to your whole list to keep in touch. And again, there's a video and resources that shows you exactly how to do that when you get to that stage. So not something you need to worry about right this second, but just be aware there's a load of information, good stuff in resources that you'll find useful when you get further along the line. But say you did want to extend this eventually to add more emails, what happens is if someone's gone through all of this, they're going to get to this email and they're actually going to come out of this automation. And some people like to keep them in for a bit longer. Like I say, we want to build that month sequence, and it might take you 2 months to build that month sequence. And in that time, people would have left. So So what you can do is you can actually add a weight in. So if I click this plus icon here, I can click on conditions and workflow and click on weight. There we go, wait. If it's going to, there we go. And I'm going to say wait for a specified period of time. So I could put here like 100 days, for example. And that means if someone goes through all these emails, they're going to wait 100 days before they leave. So that gives me 100 days to add another email in if I wanted to add another one. So once you've got your wait 100 days, which means that once they finish this email, they will then wait 100 days before they leave this automation. So it gives you 100 days to add any more emails if you wish. Okay. When you get to the point where you do want to add more emails, the whole process again is in resources for you to follow along in how to do that in order to make sure that everybody doesn't suddenly leave the automation. Okay, so when you get to that point, resources is there. So that's just one thing. Now let's go over to the document. We're now at the integration step. So we want to integrate ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign. So we need for ClickFunnels to send anybody's details that signs up for your wanting your HVG. We need them to send the details to ActiveCampaign to then add them in here and then receive all their emails. So we're going to just integrate them. So what we need to do is go to ClickFunnels, click in the top right hand corner and go account settings. Then we're going to scroll down to integrations and we're going to click add new integration. We're then going to click on ActiveCampaign. You can call it whatever you wish. I just call it ActiveCampaign. If you have multiple active campaigns, which again most of you won't, then you might want to name it something specific. And then what we need to do is we need to go grab the API key and API URL. So to do that, I'm going to head over to ActiveCampaign, go down to settings, and then you'll see we've got the option of developer. And you can see here we've got API access and the URL and the key. So I'm just going to copy the API URL, go back to ClickFunnels, paste that in the relevant box, come back here, copy the API key, back over to ClickFunnels and paste that in there. Then I'm going to click add integration. Okay, now it says ActiveCampaign was successfully created. So that's the thing that you will only ever have to do, or we should only ever have to do once. So we've integrated the two. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that actually once they have put their details into this specific page, that they go to ActiveCampaign. Just going to check I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so now we need to set up the integration on the opt-in page. So I'm going to navigate to the HVG funnel. And then here's the opt-in page. I'm going to click edit page. We're going to go to settings and then we're going to go to integrations. Now you can see it says it's not connected, so we need to now connect it. So we've got integration and you select the relevant one, so with ActiveCampaign. And then what we want to do, we want to add to list with a tag. So the list we want to add them to is going to be the COA HVG. And then the tag we want to add, we're going to add is the COA HVG download. Now you can see we've got this green bar and the tick that says it's connected. Once we've done that, we need to make sure we click save. Okay, and that's all saved. So now is making sure that everything works and we're going to test everything. Okay, so in order to test everything, first of all, I want to make sure that we've turned everything on. So the funnel should automatically be live and it should, if I exit out of here, you should be able to view it. So if I click on the visit funnel URL, it should load nicely, no problems. Should be on your domain here. And then I'm going to head over to ActiveCampaign, go to my automations, and you can see that we haven't yet turned our automation on. You've got a red dot there, which means it's not actually turned on. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to click edit and make sure that we're happy with what we've got. So the list, they should go in here and get these emails. And let me just check I don't have any warnings on them, so they will send, because I've now verified my email address and added a address. So hopefully that means now, yep, now it should send. So I'm going to click finish there. And then I'm just going to click on the active button here. And then click automations, and you'll see that you should now have a nice green dot there which says that it's now live. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to double check my Calendly. We've got here, it's not grayed out, so it means it's live. Let me go into this one quickly. If I turn it off, you see it's grayed out. So if yours is grayed out, then you need to go to the cog icon and click and toggle it on. So I've checked everything's on. Now what I need to do is test it. So I'm going to go visit the page. I'm going to click on the link so the pop-up comes up. I'm going to fill in the information. So when you're testing, you need to make sure that each time you test, you use a different email address, or we will need to delete the contact in between tests. So I'll show you that in a minute. But also another quick way of creating multiple multiple email addresses without actually having multiple email addresses is here. I can just put a +1, and actually this will create a new contact record in ActiveCampaign, but it will still send emails to the email address without the plus. So that's just a trick that can speed up the testing. And then I'm just going to put my phone number in. Okay, and then we're going to click send me the guide. Okay, so success there. And this is my calendar. There's no times in June because I'm blocked out. My calendar's not available. You will obviously want to make sure you have some times available so you can select it. So what I'm going to do, because we want to test the whole process, is I'm just going to go open up my calendar real quick so this can view as times. So I'll just go do that now. Okay, so I just went over and opened up my calendar, so you can now see that I've got a time slot I can select. So I just want to select a time, fill in the information. I don't think Ed will appreciate getting a random "you've booked an appointment with me" message. And then I'm going to fill in these. Obviously, when I was showing you this, this isn't what your phone number field would look like, but we'll just ignore that for now. And I'm going to click schedule event. Okay, and now that's come up and we've scheduled a session. Now what I want to do is just go over to ActiveCampaign, and I want to first of all go to contacts, then lists. And I just want to make sure that my contact record is in this list. So first of all, you can see that now there's a 1, whereas before it was a 0. And I'm just going to click in and see, look, there's my contact record. And it was created when I opened this account. But if I look into here, you can see that I am in an automation. I'm in the lists. So this you probably won't be in because I've opened this. I opened ActiveCampaign with this email address. I've just automatically been put in master contact list. So don't panic if you're not in there. It's not really important, to be honest. And then you've got the COA HVG list, which is the one I did set up, and the tag that they're meant to have. So again, here you can see I was subscribed to this list and I've entered this automation. So now what I can actually do is that under automations, I can click here and it says that I've completed 10% of it and I can view it. And I can see, okay, so I've subscribed and I should receive this first email. I now should be waiting an hour to then get this second email. So I'm just going to head over to my email and see if I have in fact got that first email sent to me. Okay, so currently I haven't received it, but it can take kind of 15-20 minutes to actually come through sometimes. So I wouldn't panic straight away. But what we can do is I can say, well, I want to just check a few of these other emails. So I could say, I'm meant to be waiting an hour before I get sent another email. Well, I actually want to skip that. So my contact's not waiting an hour. They get the next email sent straight away. And then I can see if I get that email as well, just to make sure that they're coming through. I can also check, I've checked my emails, and I do have the Calendly email, which has the relevant data. And if I go to my calendar as well, I can see that I have my booking. So if I've gone to my Google Calendar, I can see that I've got my booking already inputted there, which is brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a little bit longer to see if I'm going to get if my emails come through. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is there's a few things that I want to draw your attention to. So first of all, you can see on here we've got this powered by Calendly banner. We can actually remove that only once you've actually signed up and you're paying can you remove this, but you can remove it. So if you go to your Calendly, you can click on account and then account settings, and you'll see we've got branding, and then here it says use Calendly branding. No, I want to remove that. So Calendly's branding should now not show. Okay, and then the other thing is we didn't go through actually editing this page. The editing is very much the same as the opt-in page, but I'll just show you specifically the bullet points. We obviously showed you how to embed this, but I'll just show you about the bullet points. So I'm going to head over to the thank you page, and I'm going to click edit page. And then here you can see you've got the bullet points. So what we're going to do is you just edit it like normal text. Same here, and you can still bold certain parts. You can underline certain elements, just like you can with normal text. But what I'd suggest is to start with, I wouldn't just like delete all of these and start again. I would just try and amend each line as you go, because the bullet point element can be a bit of a pain sometimes. See, as you can see, the bullet point comes up and it's not the same as what we've already got set. And then if I do it again, so it just goes to the default. So it's then a pain that you have to change each one of these. You can do that. So I'll quickly show you to do that. But like I say, you want to try and stick with just changing the text. So if I click on the settings icon, and we've got it's an icon list. We want the icon color. We've got blue. We want to go to advanced. Here you can see we've got icon picker. So these are different icons to this. So I'm just going to click on here, and I'm going to start typing in check, and it's the check with the square. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Check. Make sure I click the check with the square. Now again, you can see that it's not automatically gone to the blue, which we have set as the icon color. So I'm just going to have to come in here and click on the button again. And now you can see that it's changed and it's gone back to blue. Okay, so that's how you would change anything on the bullet points. And also something people often want to change is the background image here. So what I'll do is you find the lighter bluey green kind of mint color, go to settings. So this is the section that we're editing. And you can see here we've got this background image and we've got this URL here. So we just click on the page icon, and then you would upload, like you would a normal picture, upload the image you want to use and then select it. Or you can get plain backgrounds. So I could just select a plain one, for example, and click add image. Does it let me do it? Let's have a look. There we go, now it's changed. And now you can see that I've got that as the background rather than the picture that was there. Okay, so those are the main things people want to edit. The other thing to draw your attention to is make sure you obviously change this and insert your actual name of your HVG. Claim your free, and then this is the main outcome session. This is what you're naming your Calendly event, and you would need to change it here also. Okay, and then everything else you should be alright to keep the same. Another question people often have is the privacy policy in terms and conditions. So there'll be a video in resources to show you what you can do in order to have these. But for now, let's just focus on getting this done. That's something that can be tweaked slightly later on. So yeah, just look out for the resources video for that. Okay, when you're done, make sure you always click save. I'm not going to save on this one because I want to go back to the changes I did have. Okay, I've just checked my email and it still doesn't seem to have come through. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to check in ActiveCampaign. So this is one thing you might want to check. So I'm going to go to my automations and I'm going to click. So first of all, you want to double check that you've obviously got it active, which we did earlier, but just one thing to check. Another thing is I want to make sure we don't have any of those warnings showing up. Let me edit the page. There we go. Spam check is fine. One thing you might find is the spam check, it might come up with something. If you've only just bought your domain, it knows that it's a young domain, and so it will have a negative impact. But obviously we've all got to start somewhere, so there's not a lot you can do about that, and over time it will go, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to click next. Okay, everything seems to be okay in there. It's the right. Okay, that looks all correct. I'm just going to finish. And then I'm just going to double check in the places where we have it set. So go settings, and then in account, we want to go to advanced. I just want to double check that the domain is still there, which it is. And addresses, and double check the addresses are there, and that's fine. Okay, and then if it's still not there, what I'll do is I would just try a different email address, like a completely different one, just to make sure it's not my email inbox being funny, especially as at the moment it's set that it's going to come from me and be sent to the same email address. So I'm just going to visit the page again, click the link, and I'm just going to change it to a different email address. Send me the guide. Okay, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of time and then just double check if I've got the email there. Remember to check your spam folders as well, just in case it's gone there. Like I say, when it's a new domain, it can sometimes go to your spam. There are certain things that you can do to help avoid spam folders, and again, there's a video and resources to look at that. So if you find that that is an issue, there is a video and resources to help you out for that. Okay, so I've just double checked and I now have the emails in my email account. So I have them actually in both, so it just took a little bit longer than I was hoping for it to come through in one of my inboxes, but that's fine. It got there, and that's the main thing. So so also another place that you can actually check to see that it's actually sent is the contact record themselves. So if I go to contacts and I click on my name, you can see now that the emails have been sent. So these are, it says email 2 first, then email 1. That's because I actioned this before obviously this was being, had finished processing. So they basically arrived at the same time, but obviously your contact would have them the right way around. But I now know that that is all working, and I'm happy that now my HVG funnel is all set up and ready for leads to come in and go through the sequence themselves. As always, if you have any questions, hit any different obstacles that you haven't seen me kind of show in this video, then make sure you reach out in the group, tag the relevant people in, and we'll be able to either point you in the right direction of a video, help video and resources, or help guide you through that issue. So you now have a great system in order for lead flows to come in, be able to book and get emails and nurture them.